My child, stop right now. This is not for everyone. This is only for you and me. I have stepped into your moment on purpose. I have stopped you mid-scroll, mid-thought, even mid-breath, because what I am about to speak cannot be mixed with noise. This is not a crowd moment. There is no audience watching. There is no one else listening in. Right now, it is just you and me, face to face, heart to heart, and I need you to understand how rare and sacred this is. This moment was written before time, long before your fears had names, long before your questions formed, long before you became tired of trying to be strong. I saw this exact second. I knew where you would be, what you would be carrying, and how close you would be to giving up on listening. And still, I waited. I waited for this precise moment when your heart would be quiet enough, vulnerable enough, and open enough to hear me without defenses. That is why you are here. Not by chance, not by habit, not because you were looking for something spiritual. You are here because I brought you here. Listen carefully now. This message is not motivational. It is not general. It is not something meant to inspire a crowd or be shared carelessly. It cannot be repeated because it was formed around you. Your story, your wounds, your questions, your future. This message exists because you exist. If you were not alive, these words would not be necessary. That is how personal this is. I am not speaking in broad ideas. I am speaking directly to your soul. I need you to know something very important. I waited for this exact second. I did not rush it. I did not send these words earlier, and I will not send them later in the same way. Timing matters when love is involved. Timing matters when destiny is involved. You may feel like your life had been paused, delayed, or unclear, but heaven has not been confused. Heaven hath been precise. Every step, every pause, every ache brought you here, to this moment where I can finally speak without interruption. Do not ignore this. Do not tell yourself you will come back later. Ignoring this moment will not leave things the same. Neutral does not exist here. You either receive what I am placing in front of you, or you walk away from something that cannot be recreated in the same way. I am not saying this to threaten you. I am saying this because truth matters. Some moments carry weight, and this is one of them. Heaven orchestrated this meeting. Angels were not guessing. This was not random alignment. I arranged circumstances, delays, even distractions so that you would land right here. You may not understand how much effort went into bringing you to this exact point, but I do. And I do not waste divine appointments. When I stop you like this, it is because something must be said now, not later. I see the fear trying to rise in you. That familiar tightness. That urge to pull back. Let me remove that fear and replace it with closeness. You are not in trouble. You are not being judged. You are not being tested. You are being invited. There is a difference. Fear tells you to hide. Love tells you to come closer. And I am asking you to come closer right now. This is not about religion. It is not about rules, performance, or proving anything. It is not about noise, crowns, labels, or systems. Strip all of that away for a moment. This is about you and me. Not the version of you that pretends to be fine. Not the version of you that others see. The real you. The tired you. The questioning you. The hopeful you that still exists even after disappointment. That is who I am speaking to. Something irreversible begins the moment you truly listen. Not when you finish these words, but when your heart opens instead of protecting itself. When you stop analyzing and start receiving. When you allow yourself to believe, even a little, that I am speaking directly to you. Inner shifts happen before outer changes. Seeds take root before anything breaks the surface. And right now, something is being planted that will not leave you the same. This is about you and me and no one else. Not the past that shaped you. Not the people who hurt you. Not the expectations placed on you. Those things do not get a voice here. Only you and me. That is why this feels different. That is why your attention feels pulled. That is why part of you knows this matters even if you cannot explain why. This moment cannot be repeated. Not because I will stop loving you, but because moments like this come wrapped in specific timing, specific readiness, and specific grace. You were meant to hear this now, not before, not later. Now, when your heart is soft enough to feel and strong enough to endure truth. Now, when you are tired of shallow answers and quiet enough to hear something deeper. What happens next will change everything, not because life will suddenly become easy, but because you will not walk it the same way anymore. Awareness changes direction. Truth changes posture. Closeness changes courage. You will begin to see differently, respond differently, choose differently, because something within you has shifted. Stay here with me. Do not rush. Do not multitask. Let this moment finish what it started. You are not alone. You never were. And this conversation is only beginning. Comment Amen. I receive your blessings today if you're claiming God's promises over your life. My child, there was a time when it felt like it was just you and me. Do you remember it? A time when the world felt quieter, even if life around you was not. A time when your heart would soften the moment you thought of me. You did not need many words then. Sometimes you sat in silence. Sometimes tears came without warning. Sometimes longing filled your chest so deeply that you could not explain it. But you knew I was there. And you felt close to me. I remembered those moments clearly. I remember when you spoke to me honestly, without rehearsing your words, without trying to sound strong or faithful. You spoke from where you were, not from where you thought you should be. I remember when you prayed in whispers, when your faith felt simple and alive, when believing did not feel like effort. You did not analyze every feeling. You did not question every thought. You simply came to me, and I came to you. There were moments when silence itself felt holy, when you did not ask for anything but just stayed, when your tears were not panic but release, when your heart opened easily and trust flowed naturally. You did not need proof. You did not need explanation. You sensed my presence, and that was enough. Faith felt real then, not because life was easy, but because closeness made things lighter. I want you to know this clearly. I treasure those moments. They were not small to me. They were not temporary emotions or fragile phases. They were real connection. They were truth. And they still matter. Nothing about that closeness was imagined. Nothing about it was false. It was you responding to me freely, before fear and noise learned how to interrupt. You may wonder now why that closeness faded. You may feel sadness when you remember how near I once felt. You may question yourself, wondering what you did wrong or where you failed. Hear me with tenderness now. I am not blaming you. I am not disappointed in you. I understand what happened, And I want you to understand it too, without shame. Life did not pull you away all at once. It happened slowly. Responsibilities grew. Disappointments accumulated. Questions multiplied. You learned to protect yourself. You learned to be strong. You learned to manage instead of surrender. And always crept in quietly, not always loud, but constant. Thoughts filled the spaces where silence once lived. Worry replaced stillness. Pressure replaced rest. And intimacy began to feel harder, not because I withdrew, but because your heart became tired. You did not stop loving me. You did not stop believing. You became busy surviving. You carried weight you were never meant to carry alone. You told yourself you would return to stillness when life calmed down. You told yourself closeness could wait. And slowly, the simple connection you once had felt distant, not because it disappeared, but because it was crowded out. I want you to hear this with clarity and peace. I never moved away. I did not step back. I did not grow silent out of anger. I did not replace you with someone else. I remained where I have always been. The distance you felt was not my absence. It was your exhaustion. It was your overload. It was your heart trying to keep up with too much at once. Even when you stopped noticing me, I noticed you. Even when prayer felt forced or empty, I stayed near. Even when silence felt uncomfortable instead of comforting, I remained patient. Love does not leave when attention fades. Love waits. And I have been waiting, not with disappointment, but with open arms. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness and devotion to God into your life. If you wish, you can kindly show your support by donating through Super Thanks. Those moments you remember were not meant to belong only to the past. They were foundations, not highlights. They showed you what connection feels like when trust is simple and love is uncluttered. And I am reminding you of them now because that closeness can be restored. Not by recreating the past, but by returning to presence. You do not need to become who you were then. You are not meant to undo growth or erase what life has taught you. I am not asking you to feel the same emotions or repeat the same routines. I am asking you to come as you are now, with everything you have learned, everything you carry, everything you question. Intimacy deepens when honesty replaces effort. I am rebuilding the emotional foundation of our relationship right now. Not with pressure, not with rules, not with guilt. With remembrance. With tenderness. With truth. You do not have to perform closeness. You only have to allow it. You do not have to force faith. You only have to be present. Let go of the idea that something was lost forever. Nothing real between us was destroyed. It was covered by noise, not erased. And noise can be quieted. Hearts can soften again. Silence can become safe again. Trust can return, not as innocence, but as depth. I am still here. I always was. And now, once again, it is just you and me. My child, and know how heavy your heart has felt. Not just tired, not just worn down, but heavy in a way that sleep does not fix and rest does not reach. You wake up carrying a weight you cannot name, and you go to sleep with it still pressing on you. You have learned how to function with it, how to smile through it, how to keep moving even when something inside you feels sore and bruised. But I see it. I have always seen it. There is a sadness you rarely admit, even to yourself. It is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet and steady, like a low ache that never fully leaves. You do not talk about it much because you do not want to burden others. You tell yourself that other people have it worse, that you should be grateful, that you should be stronger by now. So you tuck that sadness away and keep going. But my child, just because you hide it well does not mean it is small. You have felt misunderstood in ways that cut deeply. People hear your words but miss your heart. They see what you do but not how much it costs you to do it. You long to be truly seen, not admired, not praised, just understood. There were moments when you wanted someone to ask how you really were and stay long enough to hear the answer. When that did not happen, you learned to stay quiet, and silence became another weight you carried. You have also felt unseen, even when surrounded by people. You show up, you helped, you listened, you cared, yet you felt invisible. You wondered if anyone noticed how much effort it took just to be present. A kind of loneliness does not come from being alone. It comes from feeling emotionally disconnected while still showing up every day. I know how deeply that hurts. Let me explain something gently now. What you have been carrying is not just physical tiredness. It is spiritual weight. Physical tiredness comes from doing too much. Spiritual weight comes from carrying things that were never meant to rest on your soul. You have been holding worries, expectations, responsibilities, and fears that should have been placed in my hands. Not because you did not trust me, but because you felt you had to hold everything together. You told yourself that if you let go, things might fall apart. You believed that being strong meant handling things on your own. So you kept going, even when your heart asked for rest. Over time, that constant carrying created heaviness. Not because you were failing, but because you were human. You were doing what you thought was necessary to survive. The cost of carrying things alone is high, my child. It slowly drains joy. It dulls hope. It makes prayer feel like effort instead of refuge. It makes silence uncomfortable because that is where the weight becomes most noticeable. This is why your heart has felt heavy. Not because you are broken, not because you are faithless, but because you were never meant to walk this way by yourself. I want to replace guilt with compassion right now. You have judged yourself harshly for feeling this way. You have told yourself you should be over it by now. You have wondered why your faith did not make everything lighter. But hear me clearly, you were never weak. Feeling heavy does not mean you failed. It means you have been strong for too long without rest. Strength is not the absence of emotion. Strength is not ignoring pain. True strength is knowing when to stop carrying what is not yours to hold. And I am inviting you into that kind of strength now. The kind that rests. The kind that trusts. The kind that releases. I have watched you carry burdens quietly. I have seen you push forward when your heart wanted to sit down and cry. I have seen you choose responsibility over rest, others over yourself, endurance over honesty. And I do not look at you with disappointment. I look at you with compassion. I see someone who cared deeply, who tried hard, who did not want to give up. You were never weak. You were tired. You were overloaded. You were stretched thin by life and expectations and the pressure to keep going. And still you showed up. Still you loved. Still you hoped, even when hope felt fragile. That matters more than you know. And now, my child, I am asking you to let me carry what you no longer can. Not later. Not when you feel ready. Now, you do not need to explain everything. You do not need to justify your exhaustion. Simply allow me into the places you have guarded. Allow me into the heaviness. Allow me into the sadness you rarely name. You are safe to rest here. You are safe to be honest here. You do not have to prove anything to me. You do not have to earn relief. You do not have to be strong right now. Let me be strong for you. As you begin to release what you have been holding, the heaviness will not vanish all at once, but it will begin to lift. Breathing will feel easier. Your thoughts will sow. Your heart will soften. This is not weakness. This is healing beginning. Remember this, and let it settle deep inside you. You were never weak. You were carrying too much alone. And you do not have to do that anymore. I am here, and I am not going anywhere. My child, there are things you have carried inside that you never said out loud. Questions you pushed down because you were afraid of what they might mean. Thoughts you silenced because you did not want to seem ungrateful, faithless, or weak. But I know them all. I heard them when they formed in your heart before you forced yourself to think of something else. Nothing you have wondered has ever shocked me. Nothing you have questioned has ever pushed me away. There were moments when you asked quietly, "Am I really enough?" You did not say it to anyone. You barely admitted it to yourself. But it lingered in the background of your thoughts. You wondered if you were too flawed, too slow, too inconsistent to truly matter. You compared yourself to others and felt like you were always falling short in ways you could not fix. My child, hear me now. That question did not come from truth. It came from weariness. And weariness distorts perception. You also wondered about your purpose. You asked, "Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing with my life?" You saw others seem so sure, so driven, so confident, while you felt unsure and behind. You questioned whether you missed something important, whether you took a wrong turn that put you permanently off course. You feared that maybe your life was meant to be smaller than you hoped. I saw that fear, and I never despised you for it. There were doubts you felt ashamed of. Doubts about me. Doubts about whether I was really listening. Doubts about whether prayer actually mattered. You felt guilty for having those thoughts, so you tried to push them away quickly. You told yourself that faithful people do not think like that. But my child, faithful people do think like that sometimes. Struggle does not cancel belief. Questions do not cancel love. You feared the future in ways you rarely admitted. Not dramatic fears, but quiet ones. Fear of being alone. Fear of never becoming who you hoped you would be. Fear of looking back one day and realizing you survived, but never truly lived. You worried about time slipping away. You worried about making the wrong choices. You worried that hope might rise again only to be disappointed. Those fears sat heavy in your chest, even when you tried to stay positive. Let me respond to each of these gently, not with correction, but with truth. You are enough not because of what you achieve, but because you are mine. Your worth was never something you were meant to earn. It was spoken over you before you ever took a breath. You do not become valuable through perfection. You are valuable because I chose you. Flaws do not disqualify you. They make room for grace. Say amen. Jesus is my everything if he is your joy, peace, and strength. Your purpose has never been lost. You have not missed it. You have not ruined it. Purpose is not a single fragile moment that disappears if you choose wrong ones. Purpose unfolds through relationship, not pressure. Every season you walked through taught you something you needed. Even the detours shape you. I can weave meaning from every part of your story. Nothing was wasted. Your doubts do not scare me. They do not offend me. I would rather you bring them into the light than bury them under forced faith. Honest doubt opens the door to deeper trust. Silence builds walls. When you hide your questions, they grow heavier. When you bring them to me, they soften. I am not threatened by your honesty. I welcome it. Your fears about the future do not mean you lack faith. They mean you care deeply. You want your life to matter. You want your choices to mean something. That desire itself came from me. Fear becomes harmful only when it keeps you silent and still. When you bring it to me, it loses its power to control you. I want you to understand this clearly. You are not broken for struggling. You are human. You live in a world that demands certainty while offering very little of it. Of course, questions arise. Of course, fear whispers. Of course, you wonder if you are doing enough or becoming enough. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are growing. I normalize this struggle because I walked among humanity. I know what it is to feel misunderstood. I know what it is to carry unseen weight. I know what it is to pray in anguish. I do not stand far above your experience. I step into it. That is why you can trust me with what you never said out loud. You do not need to clean your thoughts before bringing them to me. You do not need to sort out your doubts first. Bring them as they are. Let honesty replace hiding. Let truth replace pretending. This is how trust deepens, not through perfect belief, but through real relationship. Trust grows when you realize you do not have to perform faith for me. I am not impressed by polished words. I am moved by open hearts. When you finally let yourself say what you have been afraid to say, something shifts inside you. The weight lessens. The fear loosens. The distance you felt begins to close. My child, I already know everything you have wondered. Nothing needs to stay unspoken between us. You are safe to be real with me. You are safe to question. You are safe to admit fear. And as you do, trust will grow quietly, steadily, deeply, because you will finally experience what it feels like to be fully known and still fully loved. You do not walk forward alone. You never have. And now, you no longer have to walk in silence either. My child, there were moments when no one else saw you, but I did. Moments when the room was full yet your heart felt empty. Moments when laughter surrounded you, but you felt separate, like you were watching life from behind glass. You wondered why connection felt so distant, why understanding seemed just out of reach. You told yourself to be grateful, to be strong, to not complain. And so you carried loneliness quietly, believing it was safer to hide it than to explain it. You became skilled at appearing strong in front of others. You learned how to smile at the right moments, how to answer "I'm fine" without hesitation, how to keep conversations light when your heart felt heavy. You did not want to worry anyone. You did not want to seem needy. You did not want to be the one who always needed support. So you showed up composed, capable, steady, even when something inside you was breaking. And while others admired your strength, they did not see the cost of it. There were nights when you finally allowed yourself to cry. Alone. Quietly. You cried into pillows so no one would hear. You wiped your tears quickly in case someone walked in. Sometimes you cried without knowing exactly why. But tears came from accumulation, not one moment, but many. Disappointments laid on disappointments. Unspoken grief stacked on silent fear. You cried because holding it together all day left no strength for the night. In those moments when you felt most alone, I was there. Not as a distant observer, not watching from afar, but close. Closer than you realized. I sat with you in the quiet. I felt the ache in your chest. I knew the thoughts racing through your mind as you stared into the dark. You may have felt abandoned, but you were never alone. Even when you could not feel me, I was present. Every tear you cried was collected. None were wasted. None fell unnoticed. You did not cry in vain. Each tear carried a story, a weight, a prayer, even when no words were spoken. I understood what each one meant. I knew which tears came from loss, which came from exhaustion, which came from longing to be understood. And I did not rush you to stop. I did not tell you to be stronger. I let you cry because release is not weakness, is honesty. You needed someone to see you, not the version you show the world, but the real you. The tired you. The hurting you. The one who kept going even when it hurt. I saw that version of you long before anyone else did. I saw you when you felt overlooked. I saw you when your efforts went unnoticed. I saw you when your kindness was taken for granted. I saw you when you questioned whether anyone would notice if you stopped trying so hard. My child, I want to validate your pain, not minimize it. What you felt was real. Loneliness hurts deeply, especially when you are surrounded by people. Being strong all the time is exhausting. Crying alone leaves marks on the heart that do not fade quickly. You were not imagining it. You were not being dramatic. You were responding to real emotional need that went unmet for too long. There were moments when you wished someone would ask how you really were and stay long enough to hear the answer. Moments when you wanted permission to rest, to fall apart, to be held instead of holding everything together. You may have felt guilty for wanting that, telling yourself you should be grateful for what you had. But longing for connection does not mean you are ungrateful. It means you were created for relationship. I was present in every moment you thought you were invisible. When you sat quietly while others talked around you. When you helped everyone else but felt no one helping you. When you gave encouragement while needing it yourself. I saw you. I honored those moments. Even when no one thanked you. Even when no one acknowledged the effort it took just to be there. You may have wondered why I did not remove that loneliness sooner. Why I did not send someone at the exact moment you needed them. Hear me with compassion now. I was working in ways you could not see. I was shaping your heart to recognize depth. I was teaching you the difference between being surrounded and being connected. I was preparing you to value real presence, including mine, in a way that would last. You are not unseen now. You never were. You were held in moments when you felt forgotten. You were comforted even when you felt empty. You were loved even when you doubted your worth. And now, I want you to feel this truth settle inside you. I see you fully. I see the strength it took to survive quietly. I see the courage it took to keep showing up. I see the tenderness you protected even when life tried to harden you. Let this awareness change how you see yourself. You were not weak for crying alone. You were not broken for feeling lonely. You were responding honestly to pain. And I was responding with presence. Even when you could not sense me, I was there, steady, patient, attentive. As you sit with these words now, let yourself feel seen. Not rushed. Not judged. Not analyzed. Just seen. You do not have to explain yourself here. You do not have to justify your feelings. I already understand. And as you allow yourself to receive this truth, something inside you will soften. The loneliness will lose its grip. The memory of being unseen will be replaced with the certainty that you were never alone. You are seen now. You always were, and you always will be. My child, this message exists now because timing is not accidental in my kingdom. I do not speak when it is convenient. I speak when it is necessary. I do not arrive early to impress, and I do not arrive late to apologize. I arrive when hearts are ready and when moments can still be redeemed. And this moment, right now, is exactly that. Not a second sooner, not a moment later. It could not have come earlier because you were not yet who you needed to be to receive it. Earlier, you were still learning how to survive. You were learning how to endure disappointment, how to stand after loss, how to keep going when answers did not come. If I had spoken this message to you then, it would have sounded like noise or pressure. You might have heard the words, but you would not have understood their weight. You were still becoming. You were still being shaped. Your heart was still learning how to listen without fear. Earlier, you needed protection more than clarity. You needed shelter more than instruction. You needed to learn that you could survive pain without losing yourself. So I waited. Not because I was distant, but because I was careful. Love does not rush what can be harmed by being revealed too soon. Some truths require depth to hold them. And depth is formed over time, through experience, through struggle, through quiet endurance. That is what you were building without realizing it. But it also cannot come later. This message cannot wait for a more comfortable season or a calmer moment. If it came later, hesitation would harden into habit. Questions would turn into resignation. You would begin to accept things that were never meant to be permanent. I will not allow that. I love you too much to let delay become your identity. There are moments when waiting protects you, and moments when waiting costs you. This is one of those moments where delay would steal more than it saves. This is why you feel the urgency gently pressing on your heart now. Not panic, not fear, but awareness. Something inside you knows this matters. You may not fully understand why yet, but you can sense that this moment is different. That is alignment beginning. When heaven and your heart start to agree, clarity rises quietly. Divine timing is not about clocks and calendars. It is about readiness meeting purpose. And right now, those two things have met in you. This exact version of you had to exist for this message to land the way it needs to. Not the younger you who hoped easily but broke quickly. Not the older you who might grow cautious and closed. It is you. The one who has felt pain but is still open. The one who had been disappointed but still listening. The one who knows what it is to be tired, yet still longing for something real. Right, amen. I trust your word completely if Scripture is your anchor and guide. And share this video. My child, I know you're busy, and I'm sorry to interrupt you like this truly. I know your life feels full, your mind crowded, your time pulled in many directions. I know how carefully you choose what deserves your attention. But you cannot ignore this. Not because I want to demand something from you, but because I see something you cannot see yet, and love will not let me stay silent when silence would cost you more. The enemy is hoping you scroll past right now. Not with fear, not with force, but with distraction. They do not need to attack you loudly. They only need you to stay busy, to stay numb, to stay moving just fast enough that you do not stop to listen. That is all they want in this moment. delay, distraction, dismissal. And I am speaking now because I refuse to let that happen without warning you first. They do not want you to see this, because what you are about to hear will wake you up. Awareness weakens their hold. Clarity breaks subtle chains. When you see clearly, you stop agreeing with things that have been draining you quietly. That is why this moment feels urgent. Not because you are weak, but because you are close to seeing something that changes how you move forward. I would not stop you like this unless it mattered deeply. I do not interrupt lightly. I know how often you are interrupted already. I know how precious uninterrupted moments feel to you. That is why I chose this one. Because what you don't see yet is already affecting you, and love does not wait until damage is obvious to speak. Please don't tell yourself you will listen later. I know that voice well. It sounds reasonable. It sounds calm. It tells you this can wait until you are less tired, less distracted, more available. But later has already taken more from you than you realized. Later has stretched into weeks and months before, and by the time you returned, the clarity you needed felt harder to grasp. I am calling you into now. Not to rush you, but to protect you. You are being distracted on purpose, and you need to know why. Not everything pulling at your attention is harmless. Not everything demanding your time is neutral. Some distractions are carefully designed to keep you from noticing what is shifting in your heart, what is draining your spirit, what is slowly pulling you away from peace. I am not accusing you. I am revealing what has been happening so you can choose with awareness instead of habit. I see how full your life feels. I see the responsibilities you carry. I see the expectations placed on you. I see how hard you try to keep everything together. But I also see something else. I see how your soul has been targeted quietly. Not through crisis, but through exhaustion. Not through chaos, but through constant noise. That is why you feel tired in ways sleep does not fix. That is why your heart feels heavy without a clear reason. This is not random. Open now. Stay with me. This message is protection. Not from me, but for you. Protection does not always look like comfort. Sometimes it looks like interruption. Sometimes it looks like a voice saying, "Stop for a moment. Look. Listen." That is what I am doing right now. I am speaking because I love you, not because you are failing. I need you to hear that clearly. This is not correction rooted in disappointment. This is warning rooted in care. If you were failing, I would not be this close. If you were lost beyond hope, I would not be speaking so personally. I am speaking because you matter, and what is happening around you matters. Do not scroll past. What you don't see can still harm you. Ignorance does not protect the heart. Awareness does. When you know what is happening, you can choose differently. When you understand the pull, you can resist it. When you see the pattern, you stop blaming yourself for feeling off. I am giving you understanding so you can breathe again. I know part of you wants to turn away, not because you don't care, but because intensity feels heavy. I know you would rather stay comfortable than confront something unseen. But comfort without truth eventually collapses. I am offering you truth now so your peace does not rest on something fragile. You may feel tension rising in you as you listen. That is not fear. That is recognition. Something in you knows this moment matters. Something in you knows this is not just another message. That is why the enemy hopes you scroll. Because if you stay, you will start connecting dots you were never meant to ignore. I am not here to overwhelm you with information. I am here to sharpen your awareness. Awareness is gentle when it is guided. You do not need to figure everything out right now. You only need to stay long enough to see what you have been missing. Type "I believe, Lord," even in silence if you know He's working behind the scenes. You have been strong for a long time. You have carried more than most people know. You have pushed through seasons where you should have rested. You have stayed productive even when your spirit needed quiet. That strength has been admirable, but it has also made you vulnerable. Busy hearts are easier to pull than broken ones. That is why I am stepping in now. I am not angry with you for being busy. I am not disappointed in you for being distracted. I understand how this world pulls at you constantly. That is why I am speaking with urgency instead of accusation. I am not here to shame you. I am here to wake you gently before weariness becomes numbness. Stay with me for a moment longer. Let your breathing slow. Let your heart stop racing ahead. You do not need to respond yet. You do not need to decide anything yet. You only need to listen. Listening is already an act of protection. I know you are tempted to think this is dramatic. I know you want to downplay it to make it easier to move on. But hear me. The most dangerous moments are not the loud ones. They are the quiet ones where nothing seems wrong but something is slowly drifting. I am speaking now because I love you too much to let that drift continue unnoticed. You are not alone in this moment. I am here with you. I am not watching from a distance. I am close, speaking directly to your heart, because you are worth the interruption. Open now. Stay with me. This message is not here to scare you. It is here to protect you, to steady you, to help you see clearly again. Do not scroll past. Stay. What you choose to do with this moment matters more than you realize. My child, I see how busy you are. I see the full calendar, the constant messages, the responsibilities that never seem to end. I see how your mind is always moving, how your days blur together, how even rest feels rushed. I know you did not wake up today planning to be interrupted, and I am truly sorry for breaking into your moment like this. I do not take your time lightly. I know how precious every minute feels to you right now. Please hear my heart clearly. I am not interrupting you because you have done something wrong. I am not stopping you to accuse you, to correct you harshly, or to add more weight to your already heavy load. I am interrupting you because I love you, and love sometimes steps in even when it feels inconvenient. Love does not always wait for the perfect moment. Love moves when protection is needed. I know how hard you work to keep everything together. I know how much effort it takes just to get through the day. You carry responsibilities that others do not see. You solve problems quietly. You show up even when you are tired. You keep going even when your heart feels stretched thin. I see all of that. I honor that. And I am not here to take away your strength. I am here because you have been carrying too much alone. I want to apologize gently, because I know interruption can feel frustrating. You may feel like you don't have space for one more thing, one more voice, one more demand. But listen to me carefully now. This is not a demand. This is an invitation. I am not asking you to add something to your list. I am asking you to pause, because continuing without awareness will cost you more than stopping for a moment with me. Love interrupts comfort when comfort begins to hide danger. Comfort can be good, but comfort can also numb awareness. When life moves fast enough, you stop noticing what is happening inside you. You stop hearing the quiet signals of your soul. You stop recognizing when something is draining you slowly. I am interrupting you not to disturb your peace, but to protect it. I'm not blaming you for being busy. I know this world pulls at you constantly. I know distractions are everywhere, calling for your attention, your energy, your emotions. I do not judge you for responding to them. I understand how easy it is to get swept along. That is why I am stepping in now, gently but clearly, before exhaustion turns into numbness and numbness turns into distance. This interruption is not an accusation. It is protection. I am not pointing a finger at you. I am reaching out a hand. I am saying, come here for a moment. Let me show you what you cannot see when you are always moving. You are not in trouble. You are not failing. You are loved enough to be warned before harm settles in quietly. I know part of you feels guilty even hearing this. You wonder if you should be doing more, praying more, listening more. Let the guilt go right now. Guilt is not my voice. Guilt pushes you away. Love draws you closer. I am not here to shame you into attention. I am here to invite you into safety. I see how tired your soul is, even if your body keeps going. I see the weariness you don't talk about. I see how your joy has been thinner lately, how your peace feels fragile, how your thoughts feel scattered. None of this makes you weak. It makes you human. And it tells me that this interruption is necessary. I would not stop you like this unless it mattered deeply. I would not press into your busy life unless staying silent would cost you something precious. There are moments when waiting feels polite but is actually harmful. This is one of those moments. Waiting would mean allowing you to keep pushing forward without realizing what is pulling at you from behind. You may feel resistance right now. You may want to rush through this and get back to what you were doing. I understand that instinct. But stay with me for a moment longer. Let yourself breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart slow down enough to hear me clearly. Please support our channel. Our work is focused on bringing happiness into your life and deepening devotion to God. If you would like to support us, you can donate through Super Thanks. I am not here to overwhelm you with information. I am here to restore awareness. Awareness brings choice. Choice brings freedom. When you see clearly, you can move wisely. When you are unaware, even good intentions can lead you into exhaustion. I know how much you value being responsible, dependable, productive. Those qualities are not wrong. But when they begin to replace rest, connection, and listening, they become heavy. I am interrupting you now so you do not lose yourself while trying to hold everything else together. This moment is not about fixing anything immediately. It is about seeing. It is about recognizing what hath been happening beneath the surface of your busy life. It is about letting me stand with you in the middle of your day instead of only at the edges. I am close to you right now. Not demanding, not disappointed, not distant. Close. Speaking gently, even with urgency, because urgency does not have to be harsh. Urgency can be loving. Urgency can be careful. Urgency can be a sign that you matter deeply. I want you to feel safe here. Safe enough to stop multitasking. Safe enough to admit you are tired. Safe enough to listen without defending yourself. I am not asking you to drop your responsibilities. I am asking you to let me help you carry them. You have been strong for a long time. You have adapted. You have pushed through. But strength without rest eventually becomes strain. I am interrupting you before strain turns into something harder to heal. Please do not see this as one more thing asking for your attention. See it as the one thing offering you relief. I am not competing with your life. I am part of it. I want to walk with you through it, not wait for you to collapse before I step in. Stay with me here. Let this interruption become a moment of heaviness and of annoyance. Let it remind you that you are not alone in your busy life. You are seen. You are cared for. You are protected. I interrupted you because you matter to me more than your schedule. I interrupted you because your soul is worth guarding. And I will continue speaking gently, clearly, and lovingly, as long as you are willing to stay and listen. My child, I want to speak to you clearly about what the enemy hopes you will do right now. Not to frighten you, not to make you suspicious of everything around you, but to help you see what is happening so you are no longer unaware. Awareness is not fear. Awareness is light. And light removes the power of what hides in the shadows. The enemy is not hoping to attack you loudly in this moment. They are not planning chaos or dramatic destruction. That is not their strategy here. Their hope is much quieter, much simpler. They hope you delay. They hope you dismiss this moment as unimportant. They hope you scroll past, tell yourself this can wait, and move on without noticing what just tried to reach you. Delay is one of their most effective tools. Delay does not feel dangerous. It feels reasonable. It sounds calm. It whispers, you can come back to this later, or this isn't urgent, or you're too busy right now. Delay does not raise alarms. That is why it works. It slowly moves truth out of reach without ever appearing to oppose it. The enemy does not need you to reject me. They only need you to stay distracted long enough that you never fully listen. They do not need you to fall apart. They only need you to keep going on autopilot. They do not need to steal your faith. They only need to dull your awareness. A distracted heart is easier to guide than a broken one. Scrolling past may feel like nothing. Just a small movement of your finger. Just a moment of distraction. But spiritually, scrolling past is often avoidance dressed as normal behavior. It is the act of moving away from something that feels weighty before it has a chance to speak clearly. Not because you are rebellious, but because depth feels uncomfortable when you are already tired. The enemy understands how busy you are. They see how full your mind is. They know you are exhausted. That is why they do not push hard. They pull gently. They add noise. They add urgency to everything else so this moment feels optional. They do not need to stop me from speaking. They only need to keep you from listening. Their greatest fear is not your strength. It is your awareness. Strength can be misdirected. Strength can be worn down. But awareness changes direction. Awareness makes you stop agreeing with things that drain you. Awareness helps you notice patterns you have been repeating without realizing why. Awareness brings choice back into your hands. This is why I am speaking now. Because something in you is becoming aware. You have already felt it. That sense that something is off. That quiet pressure that does not go away. That feeling that you are busy but not fully at peace. Those are not random emotions. Those are signals. And the enemy hopes you ignore them long enough that they fade back into the background. I want you to understand this without fear. The enemy does not have authority over you. They do not control you. They cannot force you. That is why they rely on distraction. They work through agreement. When you stay unaware, you unknowingly agree to carry burdens you were never meant to carry. When you become aware, that agreement breaks. They are not afraid of you becoming louder or more active. They are afraid of you becoming still and honest. Stillness reveals truth. Honesty exposes lies you have been living under without realizing it. That is why this moment feels important. Because stillness and honesty are close right now. Delay keeps you from connecting the dots. Delay keeps you from realizing why you have been so tired, why joy feels thinner, why peace feels fragile. Delay keeps you blaming yourself for things that are actually happening around you. Awareness shifts that blame into understanding. Understanding leads to freedom. The enemy hopes you tell yourself this message is dramatic. They hope you minimize it so you can move on comfortably. They hope you say, "This doesn't apply to me," even though something in you knows it does. Minimizing truth is another way of delaying response. It allows you to stay comfortable without being changed. I am not telling you this so you become suspicious of every thought or fearful of every distraction. That is not my desire. I am telling you so you can see clearly. Clear sight does not make you anxious. It steadies you. When you know what is happening, you stop reacting blindly. You may wonder why distraction feels so strong lately. Why it is harder to focus. Why quiet moments feel uncomfortable. Why you instinctively reach for noise. That is not because you are weak. It is because something does not want you to sit long enough to hear what your heart has been trying to say. The enemy hopes you stay busy enough that you never ask deeper questions. Busy enough that you never pause long enough to notice patterns. Busy enough that you keep functioning without healing. That is why they prefer distraction over destruction. Distraction keeps you alive but distant. Alive but unaware. Alive but carrying weight you do not need to carry. I want you alert, not alarmed. Alertness is calm. Alertness is steady. Alertness simply notices. Panic cloud the judgment. Awareness sharpens it. I am not asking you to fight anything right now. I am asking you to see. Comment Jesus, you have all of me if you've surrendered your life completely to Him. Seeing breaks the cycle. When you see the pull of distraction, you can choose not to follow it. When you see the pattern of delay, you can choose to respond differently. When you see how noise has been used to keep you from listening, you can choose stillness without fear. The enemy hopes you treat this moment as optional. I am telling you it is protective. Not because danger is everywhere, but because truth is near. When truth is near, resistance often rises quietly. That resistance does not mean something bad is happening. It means something important is. You do not need to be stronger than the enemy. You need to be aware. Awareness brings you back into alignment with me. Alignment brings peace. Peace restores clarity. Clarity makes you harder to pull off course. I know you have a lot demanding your attention. I know it feels selfish to pause. But this pause is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot pour from a heart that has been quietly drained by distraction. I am helping you notice the drain so it can be closed. Do not fear the enemy. Fear gives them more attention than they deserve. Simply refuse to stay unaware. Refuse to move past this moment without listening. Refuse to tell yourself this does not matter. That is all that is required right now. Stay with me a little longer. Let this awareness settle without panic. You are not in danger. You are being protected. You are not being attacked. You are being invited to see clearly again. The enemy hoped you would scroll past. You did. That matters. Not because you fought, but because you stayed. And staying opens the door for truth to do its work gently, steadily, and completely. Remain here with me. Awareness is growing. And as it grows, the pull of distraction will lose its power over you. My child, I need you to hear this with seriousness, not fear. Distraction is more dangerous than you think, not because it is loud or obvious, but because it works quietly. It does not announce itself as harm. It presents itself as normal life. It blends into your day so smoothly that you do not notice what it is slowly taking from you. That is why I am speaking now, with clarity and weight, because what is subtle can be more damaging than what is sudden. Distraction dulls discernment. Discernment is your ability to sense what is true, what is aligned, what is not meant for you. When discernment is sharp, you recognize when something is pulling you away from peace. You notice when a thought does not come from me. You feel when a choice will cost you more than it gives. But distraction blunts that edge. It makes everything feel equal. Important and unimportant begin to blend together, and you stop noticing what deserves your attention most. This does not happen overnight. That is why it is dangerous. It happens slowly, in small shifts you barely register. You fill every quiet moment with noise. You move from one task to the next without pausing. You consume words, images, opinions, information, until your mind feels full but your heart feels empty. Over time, you stop checking in with your spirit. You stop listening inwardly. Not because you don't care, but because you are tired. Spiritual numbness does not arrive as darkness. It arrives as dullness. You still function. You still show up. You still believe. But you feel less. Joy feels thinner. Conviction feels quieter. Peace feels harder to reach. You begin to accept heaviness as normal. You tell yourself this is just how life is now. That is numbness, subtly and gently. Busy people are especially vulnerable to this, not because they are doing something wrong, but because busyness leaves little room for reflection. When you are always moving, you do not notice when you are drifting. When you are always responding, you stop initiating listening. You begin to live in reaction instead of alignment. That slow drift is what concerns me, because drift rarely feels dangerous until you look back and realize how far you have moved from where you started. Noise replaces listening before you realize it has happened. You still hear many voices, many sounds, many opinions, but you stop hearing mine clearly. Not because I stopped speaking, but because there is no space left for my voice to settle. My voice is steady. It is not frantic. It does not compete. When everything else grows louder, my voice becomes easier to overlook, even though it has not changed. I see how often you reach for noise without thinking. A screen, a task, a conversation, something to fill the space. Silence feels uncomfortable now, not because it is empty, but because it exposes what you have been avoiding. In silence, you notice your fatigue. You notice your questions. You notice your longing. Distraction keeps those things at a distance, but distance does not heal them. I am not condemning you for this. I understand the pressure you live under. I understand how this world rewards speed and constant output. I understand how rest can feel unproductive and quiet can feel unsafe. But I need you to see what is happening so you can choose differently, not from guilt, but from wisdom. Distraction makes you easier to lead without your consent. When you are not aware, you agree without realizing it. You agree to carry stress you were never meant to carry. You agree to voices that do not speak life. You agree to rhythms that drain you slowly. Awareness breaks those agreements. That is why distraction is so effective. It keeps you from noticing what you are agreeing to. I have watched you push through days when your heart needed rest. I have watched you ignore small warnings because stopping felt impossible. I have watched you normalize exhaustion and call it strength. That breaks my heart, not because you are weak, but because you are precious. You were not created to live constantly overwhelmed. You were created to live connected. The danger of distraction is not that it pulls you away all at once. It is that it slowly replaces depth with surface. Rare becomes quick. Listening becomes rare. Decisions become reactive. You still love me, but you do not linger with me. Relationship becomes something you fit in instead of something you live from. That shift changes everything. You may wonder why it feels harder to sense my guidance lately. Why choices feel more confusing. Why peace feels fragile. This is not because I am distant. It is because your attention hath been scattered. Scattered attention makes everything feel unclear. Focus restores clarity. I want you to understand that discernment needs quiet to function. Just as your body needs rest to heal, your spirit needs stillness to sense truth. When stillness disappears, discernment weakens. You begin to rely on logic alone, on habit alone, on what feels urgent instead of what is wise. That is not because you are failing. It is because you are overloaded. Lies trains you to react instead of reflect. It trains you to respond immediately instead of listening deeply. Over time, you stop asking, "Is this from me?" and start asking, "What do I need to do next?" That shift seems small, but it changes how you live. You become driven by demand instead of guided by truth. I am speaking with deep seriousness now because I do not want you to lose your sensitivity. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is a gift. It allows you to sense when something is off before it becomes obvious. It allows you to feel my leading gently. Distraction hardens sensitivity without you noticing. It numbs with once alive. You have felt this numbness trying to settle. That is why this message caught your attention. Something in you knew you needed to stop. That is not coincidence. That is your spirit responding to truth before numbness could deepen. I am not asking you to remove all noise from your life. I am asking you to stop letting noise replace listening. I am asking you to create space again, even small space, where you are not consuming, not reacting, not performing. Space where you can simply be with me. This is not about doing more. It is about noticing more. Noticing when your heart feels heavy. Noticing when your peace feels thin. Noticing when you are moving too fast to feel. These are not signs of failure. They are invitations to return. I want you to feel the seriousness of this without feeling afraid. Fear paralyzes. Awareness strengthens. I am not warning you because something terrible is about to happen. I am warning you because something subtle has been happening, and now is the right time to stop it. You are not lost. You are drifting, and drifting can be corrected. All it takes is attention. All it takes is willingness to pause. All it takes is listening again. Stay with me here. Let this truth sink in gently. You do not need to fix everything today. You do not need to change your whole life at once. You only need to see clearly what distraction has been doing so you can choose presence again. I am with you in this. I am not watching from a distance. I am close, steady, patient. I am speaking because I love you too much to let numbness settle in quietly. Listen now, not with fear, but with honesty. Your discernment can be sharpened again. Your sensitivity can be restored. Your peace can deepen. But it begins by seeing distraction for what it is and choosing to stay present with me instead. Remain here. Let the noise fall back for a moment. Let your heart breathe. This seriousness is not meant to weigh you down. It is meant to wake you up gently, so you can live fully awake again. My child, I need to lift a heavy weight from your heart right now. You are not too busy. You are not failing because your schedule is full. You are not disappointing me because your days feel crowded. Let go of that shame. It does not come from me. What you are experiencing is not a lack of devotion. It is something else entirely. You are being pulled, quietly and persistently, and that pull has made everything feel heavier than it should. I see how often you blame yourself. You tell yourself that if you cared more, you would slow down. If you were stronger, you would focus better. If you were more disciplined, you would feel closer to me. The voice accusing you is not truth. It ignores what has really been happening. Busyness is not the problem. The problem is the unseen pull on your attention that has been working beneath the surface of your life. There is a difference between responsibility and distraction, and I want you to understand it clearly. Responsibility comes from love and purpose. It has weight, but it also has meaning. Distraction steals weight and meaning alike. Responsibility may tire you, but it does not hollow you out. Distraction leaves you exhausted in ways rest does not repair. You have been confusing the two, and that confusion has made you feel guilty for things you should be aware of instead. You have responsibilities I placed in your life, people you care for, work you must do, choices you must make. I am not asking you to abandon those things. I am not criticizing your effort. I see your faithfulness in showing up. But alongside responsibility, there has been a quiet pull that does not come from me. A pull that fragments your attention. A pull that fills every empty space with noise. A pull that keeps you from resting even when your body stops moving. That pull is why you feel tired even when you sleep. That pull is why your mind feels crowded even in quiet rooms. That pull is why prayer feels harder to enter and silence feels uncomfortable. This is not because you are weak. It is because something hath been competing for your attention constantly, and competition always creates strain. Say amen. You restored my joy if God has turned your sorrow into singing. And share this video. My child, this is your final call. Do not ignore the voice that speaks straight into your heart right now. Heaven has paused just to reach you. I'm not here to remind you of what you've lost. I'm here to tell you what you're about to gain. You waited long enough. No more delay. This moment is your turning point, your last chance to step fully into the future I've prepared. If you pass by this message, you risk missing the greatest miracle of your life. My beloved child, I am speaking directly to you, straight into the center of your heart. I see the road you've been walking, and I know how weary your feet have become. But I don't want to talk about your tiredness or struggles today. I want to talk about your strength, the hidden power inside you that you've forgotten is there. I saw every moment you stood firm, even when you felt shaky inside. I saw the nights you chose hope over doubt, courage over worry. You've carried burdens, but now is the time to set them down. I'm not here to remind you of what went wrong. I'm here to remind you of the promise that's waiting ahead. You've wondered many times if I truly hear you, if your quiet prayers ever reach my ears. Today, I'm answering loudly and clearly. Yes, my child, I hear every single word. I hear the things your heart whispers when you have no strength left to speak. And right now, I'm calling you closer because your breakthrough is ready. This is not just another moment. This is your turning point. You've stood at this crossroads before, hesitating, questioning if it's really me speaking. But today, my voice is unmistakable. This is your final call to step away from what holds you back. The uncertainty you've lived with, the constant wondering if you're making the right decisions, is ending now. I'm leading you into certainty and clarity. Child, what you've been holding tightly to cannot compare to what I've prepared. Let go of yesterday's disappointments. Release the words spoken over you that made you feel small or unworthy. They were never true. My words about you have always been clear. You are valuable. You are chosen. And now is your time to rise. There are people and places you've held on to, hoping they would fill spaces only I can fill. Today, I'm gently urging you, release them. Trust me to fill every gap, to restore every loss, and to replace every empty space with joy and fulfillment you haven't imagined yet. You won't find peace by holding on to the past. Your peace comes from moving forward with me. I have watched you wait patiently, sometimes feeling forgotten, sometimes thinking the blessing passed you by. But listen to me closely, my child. What seemed like delay was actually preparation. Nothing has been wasted. Every step you've taken, every door that closed, every person who walked away, has led you closer to this divine appointment. I'm telling you this clearly, so you don't misunderstand. The past no longer has power over you unless you choose to hold on to it. Your future, my child, is calling you forward. I've prepared blessings, joy, healing, and new beginnings that await your brave step of faith. Right, I am nothing without you. Lord, if He's your strength, this moment is special, it's yours alone. Others might hear this message, but right now, it's just you and me. I'm looking straight at you, into the depths of who you are, and I'm saying, trust me one more time. Take my hand again, even if you're afraid, even if doubts whisper around you. I promise you, I'm stronger than your doubts. I'm bigger than your fears. If you respond to this final call, the confusion that clouded your mind will lift. The heaviness you felt will disappear. My presence will surround you with peace that stays even when life changes. You'll wake up and realize you don't have to worry anymore, not because problems vanish instantly, but because you will finally understand I am fighting for you. I am ready to heal your heart completely, not just partly, but fully. The scars you've quietly accepted as permanent are not permanent to me. They are places where I will now show my greatest power. I'm ready to restore relationships you believed were beyond repair. I'm ready to open doors you thought were forever closed. And when I do this, you will know without a doubt that it was me. My beloved, you don't need to carry these heavy burdens alone anymore. Lay them at my feet, right now. Allow yourself to breathe freely again. I didn't create you to live worried, stressed, or afraid. You were created to thrive, to flourish, and to shine brightly in a world that needs your unique light. Your time of simply surviving is finished. Your new season of living fully boldly is here. But you must step forward. You must say goodbye to what was comfortable but no longer fits you. Trust that I'm bringing something far better, something tailor-made just for you. Within moments of truly deciding, you'll begin feeling lighter, freer, and clearer. Your next steps will not be confusing. They will be sure, directed, and peaceful because I am guiding every single one. This is your final call, my child. Don't walk away. Don't close your heart. Say yes, and watch how quickly I move. Heaven is ready to celebrate this decision. Angels stand ready to support your choice. All you need to do is trust me, right here, right now. I love you deeply, more deeply than you can understand. And today, I'm calling you forward, not backward, to a life filled with joy, purpose, and lasting peace. You have been longing to see the world around you change, but today, I'm starting that change within you. The peace you searched for, the joy you've imagined, and the life you secretly dream of, they are not distant ideas. They are realities I am bringing closer right now. You've often asked yourself quietly if you're strong enough for what lies ahead. Listen carefully. It's not your strength I'm depending on. It is mine. When you feel unsure or afraid, remind yourself that you were never meant to walk alone. I'm not asking you to be perfect or even strong enough. I'm asking you to trust me to carry you when your own strength fades. My beloved, there have been nights when you felt overlooked and wondered if your life truly mattered. I have heard the quiet thoughts of your heart, the questions no one else hears. And today, I'm answering clearly. Your life matters greatly. You were made with intention. Every detail about you, even the things you don't understand, were designed uniquely by me. Nothing about you was accidental. Everything about you has purpose. I am inviting you today to step away from everything that clouds your vision and steals your peace. You're used to carrying burdens that never belong to you. You've carried expectations from others, fears of failure, and worries about the future. But, child, those burdens are not yours to bear. Give them to me right now. Let me carry them for you. Imagine how your life could look if you truly handed everything to me: your family, your dreams, your decisions, and even your mistakes. I promise you that nothing you trust me with will ever be lost. Instead, you'll find it returned to you better than before, filled with my blessing and favor. This isn't just about letting go, it's about what you will receive in return. I'm offering you freedom from the heaviness that has held you down. I'm offering you peace that remains steady even in storms. I'm giving you joy that doesn't depend on circumstances, happiness that stays when everything around you shifts. Think of your life as a book. Today, we turn the page together. You've read the previous chapters many times over, some full of laughter, others filled with tears. But what's coming next will surprise you in ways you cannot yet imagine. It's not a continuation of past struggles, but a brand new beginning. I'm already preparing the people you'll meet, the opportunities you'll step into, and the blessings you'll encounter. All you have to do is trust me enough to walk forward into the unknown. Remember, I see further than you do. I know what you need before you do, and I'm already providing it. Your heart sometimes fears new beginnings because you've become comfortable where you are, even if it's not fully satisfying. But comfort isn't always safety. Sometimes it's holding you back from the true life I designed for you. I'm gently calling you out of what you've always known, not to harm you, but to show you the greater things I've planned. I have hidden gifts along your path, special moments, unexpected blessings, and relationships that will nurture your spirit. You won't need to struggle or strive for them. They will come easily, naturally, as you trust me fully. Please support our channel. Our goals is to bring happiness in your life and to bring devotion and reverence towards God. And if you want, you can donate us through the super thanks button down below. The next steps I'm guiding you to take might feel unfamiliar, maybe even uncomfortable at first. But soon, you'll see they lead exactly where you always dreamed of going, though you didn't know how to get there. Trust me, I'm not just leading you. I'm walking with you every step of the way. Let your heart feel excited again. Allow yourself to grieve again, to hope again, to expect my goodness again. You've guarded your heart, afraid of disappointment, but I'm asking you to trust once more. Not in people who have let you down, not in situations that have failed you, but in me, who never changes and never leaves. This moment is sacred, child, because you stand at a crossroads of what was and what could be. You hesitated long enough. It's time to choose confidently. I'm standing beside you, hand outstretched, ready to guide you forward. All of heaven waits eagerly for your decision, ready to support you the moment you say yes. Let your yes today be firm, sure, and unwavering. Let your yes be the moment you finally drop the heavy loads you've carried far too long. Let your yes be the moment you fully embrace a life that's rich, meaningful, and filled with purpose beyond your imagination. This is your final call, not as a threat, but as an invitation, one filled with hope, filled with possibilities. I am your Father, and I only want good things for you. Don't hesitate. Don't doubt. Take my hand, and let's walk forward together. My child, right now let your heart be at ease. Allow yourself to finally breathe deeply, because I'm about to fill your life with something beautiful and new. I see how hard you've tried to put everything together, but now I'm stepping in to complete the picture. I've watched your quiet battles, the questions you never shared, and I am here today to show you clearly that your season of waiting is coming to a gentle end. I've noticed how you tried to handle everything alone, believing it's your job to fix what's broken or missing. But hear me, beloved, you were never meant to do it all alone. Let me step into the story and finish what you've started. I'm not asking you to carry everything perfectly. I'm simply asking you to let me help you. You've been strong for everyone else. You've shown patience when others tested you, kindness when you felt none returned, and compassion even when you were tired. But today, I'm bringing a wave of refreshing strength just for you. I'm sending you moments of peace you haven't experienced in a long time, moments that remind you just how deeply you're loved. I see the dreams you've quietly tucked away, thinking maybe they weren't meant for you. But, my child, I placed those dreams in your heart for a purpose. Those dreams were never forgotten by me. And now, it's time to see them come to life. Trust me to resurrect what you thought was lost forever. You're not defined by the setbacks you've faced or the moments when you felt uncertain. You are defined by me, the one who made you, loves you, and has great plans still waiting for you. I know exactly where you've been and precisely what you faced. But what matters more now is where I'm taking you. I am leading you into opportunities that perfectly match who I made you to be. You don't have to chase after things anymore. These blessings will come naturally because they've been prepared specifically for you. Here's a place of belonging, acceptance, and purpose I've designed, and you are about to step into it fully. Child, listen carefully. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to keep proving your worth or working harder to gain approval. You already have mine, and that's enough. I love you deeply, completely, without conditions or expectations. Your heart can rest securely in that truth. Your worth isn't based on your achievements, your success, or how others see you. Your worth comes from me alone. And to me, you're priceless. You are my treasure, the one I chose intentionally and with great joy. Your life is valuable beyond measure, and I am committed to seeing you fully embrace the life you were always meant to live. Let me lift from your shoulders the worry you carry, the worry about tomorrow, about things you cannot control. Let me replace that worry with peace that goes beyond human understanding. The peace I offer isn't temporary. It's lasting, stable, and steady even when everything around you shifts. There are good things coming your way, surprises that will remind you just how well I know you. You will soon discover the moments ahead are sweeter than you ever imagined. Relationships will begin to bloom beautifully. New opportunities will present themselves, and the desires of your heart will start unfolding right before your eyes. Your journey hasn't been simple, but the steps ahead will become clearer, easier, and brighter. The confusion you faced is coming to an end. You're moving toward clarity, understanding, and renewed confidence. You'll walk into places you once thought impossible and stand amazed at how I've opened doors you didn't even know existed. Today, I ask you to trust me fully like you never have before. Let your fears fade as your faith rises. Hold on to my promises tightly, because they're true, reliable, and they never expire. I'm committed to you not only today, but for every moment of your life. Comment Jesus, be my defender if you trust his protection. My child, your future is not a mystery to me. I've seen every detail, every twist, every turn, and I've prepared the way ahead. There's no reason to fear what you don't yet understand, because I am already there, guiding and protecting you every step of the way. Let your heart feel hopeful again. Believe again in possibilities, in miracles, in the extraordinary unfolding right in front of you. My love is stronger than your greatest doubts, and my strength far exceeds your greatest challenges. This is your moment to stand firm and say, "Yes, I believe you, God. I trust that everything you promise will become real in my life." When you do, heaven celebrates, and the path in front of you brightens immediately. Remember this clearly, child. This is not just a message. It's a promise directly from my heart to yours. If you take hold of it now, your life will shift into something remarkable, something beautifully designed just for you. I love you, I cherish you, and today I'm calling you forward. Don't look back, just step confidently ahead, knowing I'm with you, forever guiding you into a brighter, more joyful future. I know sometimes you've quietly wondered if I truly hear you, if I understand exactly how you feel deep inside. Today, I want you to know that I hear even your softest whisper, your quietest prayer, and your deepest sigh. You matter greatly to me, more than you can imagine. I've watched you carefully planting seeds of kindness in the lives of others, never expecting anything in return. You've offered patience, love, and understanding freely even when it was difficult. But now, beloved, it's your turn to experience the harvest. Your season of giving has prepared you for a season of receiving. Let your heart become expectant because good things are already beginning to bloom in your life. Don't be afraid to hope again, even though you've known disappointment before. Trust me when I say that what I have planned for you is more beautiful than what was left behind. I am not leading you backward, but forward into greater joy, deeper peace, and fuller understanding. Child, your life is not a random series of events. It's a carefully crafted story I've written just for you. Right now, I'm turning the page and inviting you into a new chapter, one filled with joy and fulfillment. Trust that every step you take forward is guided by me. Even if you feel unsure, I will hold your hand and show you clearly that you're not alone. Let your heart open fully now, and let go of the things you've been holding too tightly. As you release what you've clung to, you will feel a weight lift from your spirit. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. This peace comes from me, and it will become the steady heartbeat of your life. I've noticed that sometimes you compare your journey to others, but your path is unique. It was created specifically for you. There's no need to measure yourself against anyone else's progress. I am writing a beautiful story in your life, a story that will inspire others, because it reveals my love through you. Today, I'm giving you permission to rest in my presence. You've been working so hard, striving to fix things around you, but I want you to pause now and simply rest. In this restful moment, you'll discover a strength you didn't realize was there. It's not found in busyness, but in quiet trust and peaceful confidence. I'm preparing to surprise you, child. Expect it. Be on the lookout for blessings in unexpected places, new friendships that encourage your heart, moments that remind you of my love, and opportunities to experience joy in fresh ways. These aren't random, they are intentional reminders of how deeply you're loved. Beloved, you've always tried to carry your load quietly. You've done your best without complaining, without making demands. And now let me carry you. Lean fully on me. My arms are strong enough to hold you, steady enough to calm you, and gentle enough to comfort you. You don't need to carry burdens alone ever again. I know your dreams. I place them inside your heart, and today I remind you that no dream I give is impossible. I'm breathing new life into them. Where you saw impossibility, I see endless possibilities. Where you saw limitations, I see opportunities. Trust me, and watch closely as your dreams begin to unfold into reality. Let yourself feel joy today. Let it bubble up from deep within your soul. You've waited patiently, but now it's time to rejoice. Celebrate the beautiful moments, even the small ones, because they are signs of greater blessings coming your way. Your life is a gift, and I delight in seeing you live it fully. My child, this is your final call, a loving invitation to trust me more deeply. I want to transform your daily life, making it richer and fuller than ever before. I want you to wake up each morning with fresh hope, eager to see what new things I've prepared. This message is not just encouragement, it's a promise. I am here. I am faithful. I am committed to your happiness, your peace, and your growth. Take my hand now and walk forward into the joyful life waiting ahead. I will never leave you, and today marks the beginning of a wonderful new season, a season where joy outshines your worries, peace quiets your fears, and my love guides your every step. My child, let your heart become still, because right now I'm about to reveal something special just for you. You've often asked me, when will things get easier? When will I see clearly what you've planned for me? The answer is now. Right now, I am clearing the fog that has made your path feel uncertain. I am gently guiding you out of confusion and into perfect clarity. You see, I've been working behind the scenes, arranging moments that will soon make perfect sense. The timing of your life isn't accidental. Every event, every encounter, every opportunity has been carefully prepared to lead you here, to this exact point of readiness. Today, you stand on the edge of something remarkable, something that will make your spirit soar. Let go of the idea that you need to understand everything to move forward. Trust doesn't require perfect understanding. It simply requires faith. And faith means stepping forward even when the next step isn't clear, because you trust the one who guides you. Know that I am with you, always, even in the smallest details. Child, the joy I have prepared for you isn't far away. It isn't something you'll reach someday in the distant future. It's here, available right now. You've often searched for joy in temporary things, in people, in situations that change too quickly. But today, I offer you lasting joy, a happiness that remains steady, stable, and secure because it comes directly from me. You were not created to live life barely getting by. You were created for abundance, a life overflowing with goodness, kindness, peace, and purpose. I'm calling you into that abundance today. Let your heart believe again in what's possible. Let yourself expect good things, beautiful surprises, and joyful moments. Don't hold back your hope, let it run freely. Today, I encourage you to dream again. Not cautiously, but boldly. Imagine the wonderful future I'm preparing. Picture the places you'll go, the people you'll impact, the love you'll experience. Your dreams aren't just your own, they're visions I've placed within you, waiting to be realized. And the time for those dreams to become reality is closer than you know. My beloved, you've spent enough time looking back, wondering if your best days were behind you. Today, look ahead. The life you were made to live is not in your past, it's right in front of you. The blessings, the breakthroughs, the friendships, and the opportunities I've designed specifically for you are all waiting to meet you on this new road. I'm about to surprise you with moments of happiness that come in ways you didn't expect. Little things will begin to fall into place easily, gently reassuring you that you're exactly where you're meant to be. These moments are reminders that you are seen, loved, and guided by me. I want you to remember, child, that I am the author of your story. There may be twists and turns, but I promise you the ending is beautiful. The chapters ahead are filled with laughter, deep relationships, fulfilled dreams, and meaningful adventures. Trust me to bring it all together in ways that exceed even your greatest expectations. You don't have to push or struggle anymore. Let me carry you. Let me guide your steps with gentleness and love. I'll show you exactly where to go, whom to trust, and when to act. All I ask is that you listen closely to my voice and trust that I'm leading you towards something wonderful. You're entering a time when the burdens you've carried will become lighter. You'll find it easier to smile, easier to love, easier to give freely because you'll feel my support beneath every step you take. Let your heart relax fully into my love today. This is your time for renewal, for restoration, and for joy. You don't have to wait any longer. I am already opening doors no one else can close. I am pouring out blessings no one else can stop. And I'm writing a story for you that no one else can write. Tight Father, you know my heart if you long for His presence. My child, step forward now without fear. Step forward with hope, confidence, and expectation. This is your final call, not to loss, but to gain. Not to endings, but to fresh beginnings. I am walking ahead of you, beside you, and within you, guiding you into a future filled with more joy and meaning than you've ever known before. My child, as you hear these words, let your soul feel deeply encouraged and strengthened. You've been quietly hoping for change, quietly expecting miracles, and quietly believing that better days would come. Today, I tell you clearly, your silent hopes were always heard, your quiet expectations were always understood, and your gentle belief has never gone unnoticed by me. Now, I'm beginning a fresh chapter for you, a chapter filled with opportunities that perfectly match who you are becoming. No more settling for less than what I planned for you. No more staying stuck in places that don't feel right. I am gently guiding you toward new adventures that will awaken joy inside you again. Let yourself feel the excitement of possibilities again. I know you sometimes held yourself back, worried about getting your hopes too high. But remember, my child, hope is exactly what you need most right now. Let hope rise inside you, because hope brings new life, new strength, and new courage to face whatever lies ahead. I am restoring relationships in ways you never imagined possible. Friendships and connections that feel distant or uncertain will grow closer and deeper again. You'll find warmth returning to areas of your life that have felt empty or lonely. Trust me to mend what's been broken and to bring together hearts that need healing. I am also preparing new friendships and new people who will encourage and support you. People who understand you deeply and appreciate the real you. You won't have to pretend or explain yourself. You'll feel genuinely seen, known, and valued. These new connections will strengthen your spirit and inspire your dreams. My beloved, allow yourself to rest deeply now. You don't need to constantly push yourself or stay busy to prove your worth. Your worth is already secure in me. Rest in knowing you are already accepted, cherished, and deeply loved exactly as you are. No more striving, no more chasing after approval. You already have my approval, and that's enough. Today, let joy fill your heart again. The kind of joy that bubbles up easily, without effort, because you know everything is in my hands. I've got you. I've got your situation, your family, your dreams, and every worry you've ever carried. You can relax completely because I'm taking care of everything for you, beloved. Listener, let's pray together. Dear Heavenly Father, today I come before you with an open heart. Life often changes in ways I don't expect, but I know you are always with me. Thank you for being my steady hand when everything around me feels uncertain. You never change, and your love remains the same. Lord, help me see every season of life through your eyes. When things shift or fall apart, remind me that you are building something new. Teach me to trust your timing, even when I don't understand. Fill me with peace when I feel afraid, and help me to let go of anything that no longer fits in the path you have chosen for me. Forgive me, Lord, for the times I held on too tightly to my own ways. Sometimes I let worry and fear take control, forgetting that you already have a plan for my future. Today I surrender my thoughts, my plans, and my heart to you again. Shape me into the person you've called me to be. Help me walk forward with faith, not looking back in regret but stepping ahead with hope. Whether I'm in a time of waiting or moving quickly into something new, let me know deep inside that you are guiding my every step. Thank you for your grace that meets me right where I am. Thank you for walking with me, for holding me when I feel weak, and for giving me strength to keep going. I place my trust in you completely, Lord. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen. Type amen if you believe, and share this video to bless someone today in Jesus' name. My beloved child, pause right now. Yes, you. Something happened exactly 28 minutes ago in the spirit realm. A divine shift you desperately needed. I am Jesus, your Lord, and I am here to tell you clearly. Your painful waiting, your endless struggle, and your silent tears have ended. Don't doubt. Don't turn away. This message is meant specifically for you. At this exact moment. You didn't find this by accident. I brought you here because your breakthrough has just begun. My beloved child, I know what you have been through. I have seen every moment you felt alone, every night you cried yourself to sleep, every silent prayer you whispered when it felt like no one could hear. I am here now to speak to you clearly and directly, heart to heart. Listen closely, for these words carry life, hope, and healing. You must understand deeply the trials, pain, and tears you've known for so long. They are finished. Exactly 28 minutes ago, in the unseen places, the chains that bound you began to break. Your sorrowful season has ended, and now a new chapter begins, one filled with peace, joy, and victory. You have carried heavy burdens for far too long. I watched as betrayal wounded your heart, as people you trusted turned away, leaving you feeling worthless and forgotten. I saw how your strength faded when sickness invaded your body and anxiety clouded your mind. You asked again and again, why, Lord? How much longer must I endure? I was there, listening, collecting every tear and holding you close when you felt utterly abandoned. But now, my beloved, it is over. The storm clouds have lifted, and light is breaking through. You must believe me when I say the pain you felt was not to punish you. It was to strengthen you, to teach you trust, and to prepare you for this very moment. Every struggle has shaped you, making you stronger, wiser, and ready for what comes next. Today is the turning point, the sacred moment I've prepared for you, where the pain of your past gives way to the joy of your future. My dear one, exactly 28 minutes ago, spiritual walls began to crumble. The enemy tried to hold you back, filling your heart with lies, fear, and doubt, hoping you would lose faith completely. But he did not win because you clung to me, even when your faith felt small. And now, because you chose me in your hardest moments, I have chosen you for something greater. Right now, angels surround you, breaking chains you cannot even see. The chains of worry, sickness, loneliness, and poverty are falling away. You will soon feel a peace you've never known, a peace only I can give. Child, I am restoring all you've lost. Relationships that broke your heart will be replaced with true love and trust. Financial struggles will turn into abundance and provision, flowing freely into your life. The confusion and fear that clouded your mind will disappear, replaced with clarity, purpose, and direction. Your body will experience healing, strength, and new life as I breathe fresh hope into you. This new season is not just a promise, it is your reality. Say amen if you trust God more than your own plans. However, I must warn you clearly, do not return to what once hurt you. Do not pick up burdens I have just lifted. Do not go back to relationships or patterns that held you captive. Moving forward requires courage, faith, and complete trust in my guidance. If you skip this warning, you risk missing the blessings I am pouring out on you right now. Your future depends on your obedience and your willingness to walk forward with me into new, beautiful things. Remember clearly who you are. You are not forgotten, not rejected, not unloved. You are my child, chosen and called for something incredible. You were created with purpose and love, and nothing can ever change that. You matter deeply, and your life has divine meaning. No mistake, betrayal, or failure defines you. Only my love defines you, and my love never changes. Now, open your heart fully to me. Let go of the bitterness, anger, and doubt. Let my peace fill you completely. Seek me in prayer, in quiet moments of worship. I will speak clearly to you, revealing the path ahead and showing you miracles beyond what you have ever imagined. Dreams you thought were lost will come back to life. Hopes you buried will blossom beautifully. Trust my timing because it is perfect. I am never late, and right now, you stand exactly where you should at the doorstep of miracles. My beloved child, I need you to truly believe this. The hardest part is over. You have survived the worst. Now step forward boldly into your destiny, into joy, and into the fullness of my blessings. Keep your eyes on me, hold tight to my hand, and know I will never leave you. Together, we will enter a season filled with miracles, favor, and love like you have never known before, my precious one. Do not rush away. Do not let your mind wander. I am still here, and I still have more to say. You need to hear this not just with your ears, but with your spirit. What I am about to say will help you walk in freedom. You have been carrying shame that was never yours to carry. You've believed lies that told you you're not good enough, not strong enough, not chosen. But I come to break those lies now. I never called you by your failures. I never identified you by your weakness. I call you by your name, the one I gave you before you were born. I call you victorious. I call you beloved. I call you mine. You've tried to be strong for everyone else, even when you were crumbling on the inside. You smiled when your heart was breaking. You gave when you had nothing left to give. I saw it all. I counted every moment. And I say this to you. Your selfless love, your endurance, your faith, it was not wasted. It planted seeds that are now beginning to grow. You are about to see the harvest of every tear you've sown. You've asked me, when will it be my turn? The answer is now. This is your turn. This is your time. I am raising you up from the ashes. I am lifting you from the pit. The things that once mocked you will no longer speak. The voices that said you were forgotten will fall silent. I am giving you a new voice, one filled with praise, power, and truth. Let me remind you again. You are not here by accident. This word is not a general message, it is personal, meant just for you. I know your name. I know your past. I know every detail of your pain. And I still choose you. I still call you worthy of my love and power. The enemy wanted you to think your life was over, that it was too late. He tried to make you feel like nothing would ever change. But today I declare it's over. The delay is over. The confusion is over. The guilt is over. The shame is over. The sickness is over. You are stepping into a new day. Let your faith rise again. You've been weary. I know. You've been tired of hoping. You've been tired of waiting. But I come to breathe life into you again. Let your heart dream again. Let your spirit sing again. Let your eyes look forward again. I am giving you beauty for ashes. I am giving you double for every pain. I am repaying you for the years that felt lost. And yes, there are still battles to fight, but now you won't fight them the same way. You will fight them with joy, with peace, with confidence. Because now you know I'm with you. I am not distant. I am not far. I am closer than your next breath. I'm fighting for you. And the outcome has already been written. You win. My child, the people who hurt you will not be able to stop what I'm doing in your life. The opinions of others will not decide your destiny. What they said about you will fall to the ground. My word over your life stands forever. And my word says you are chosen, anointed, called, and covered. From this moment on, start speaking life again. Speak what I have said, not what fear says. Speak my promises, not your past. Declare your healing, your provision, your breakthrough even if you don't see it yet. That is faith, and your faith is making room for miracles. I am placing new joy in your soul, a laughter that will rise from your spirit even if you've forgotten how to laugh. I am sending divine connections, people who will love you the right way, who will speak life into you and walk with you into this new season. The days of being surrounded by those who only took from you are over. Listen again, I'm not only restoring you, I'm elevating you. Your voice will be stronger. Your peace will be deeper. Your influence will grow. And not for your own glory, but so others may see what I can do with a broken, surrendered heart. You will become a living testimony. Do not look back. What I have ahead is so much greater than what is behind. The door is closed on the old. Don't try to reopen it. Don't chase what I've removed. Trust that I know what I'm doing. You asked me to lead your life, now let me. Trust my hands, even when you don't understand my process. I know this message is heavy. I know your heart is feeling all the emotions. But that's because this isn't just information, it's transformation. This is the moment you've waited for. You are not weak. You are not broken beyond repair. You are in the middle of a miracle. Dear friends, if our videos have ever touched your heart or brought you closer to God, please support our mission through super thanks below. Your kindness means the world to us. God bless you abundantly, my precious one, for I am not finished speaking. There is still so much I must place into your spirit. You are in a sacred moment, a holy turning point, and I do not want you to miss a single word I speak. What I am doing in you right now cannot be rushed. This is the part where your soul begins to breathe again, where the healing goes deeper, where my love begins to touch the parts of you that were still hidden in pain. You've tried to be strong by holding it all in. You've tried to survive by keeping quiet, by staying busy, by pretending everything was fine. But I saw right through the silence. I saw the places where your heart still ached, the memories that still haunted you, the questions you were too afraid to ask. And now, I am reaching into those exact places not to harm you, but to heal you. Let me in. Let me touch the deep pain, that heartbreak you never really talked about, a disappointment that changed the way you saw yourself, that failure that made you feel like you missed your chance. Let me tell you the truth about it all. You didn't ruin anything. You didn't miss your calling. You are not too late, and you are not too far gone. I have been holding your future safely in my hands, waiting for the right moment to bring it to life, and that moment is now. You've been trying to fix things on your own for so long, trying to be enough, trying to be strong for everyone else, but you were never meant to carry it all alone. I didn't create you to survive by your own strength. I created you to walk with me, to lean on me, to let me carry what you cannot. You ask, Lord, why did it take so long? But child, the delay was never denial. It was me building your character, teaching you how to hear my voice, showing you how to stand firm in the dark so you would not fall when the light came. If I had opened the door too soon, you wouldn't have been ready. But now, I see it in you. I see the readiness. I see the trust that was built through fire. I see the faith that survived the storm. I see the humility that came through brokenness. And I say again, it's time. Let this sink into your soul. I am doing a new thing in your life. Even now, it's springing forth. Don't you feel it? Don't you see the signs? The weight is lifting. The tears are slowing. The peace is rising. That's me. That's my spirit confirming that what I promised, I am bringing to pass. I will not fail you. I will not let your story end in defeat. I will not leave you where you were. The people who said you'd never make it, the voices that called you weak, the past that told you you'd never rise again, none of it has the final word. I do. And I declare you victorious. I declare you whole. I declare you blessed. You're going to laugh again. You're going to sing again. You're going to walk into rooms with boldness again. No more thinking. No more hiding. No more questioning your worth. I made you. I know your worth. And I don't make mistakes. You are not a mistake. You are not forgotten. You are not less than. You are my masterpiece. I'm going to send you into places where people are hurting people just like you were. And you will bring them hope. You will speak words that heal. You will walk with a light that breaks chains. They'll ask, what changed in you? And you will say, Jesus met me. He told me it was over. And everything changed. This moment is sacred. Don't rush it. Don't let it pass. Soak it in. I am sealing this word in your spirit. And when doubt tries to return, remember what I said. When fear tries to speak, remember what I said. When the enemy lies to you again, shout back my truth, it's over. Jesus said so. My season of pain has ended. You are stepping into a season where things will happen quickly. Prayers will be answered suddenly. Doors will open unexpectedly. Favor will find you where you least expect it. But you must stay close to me. Don't chase the blessing, stay with the blesser. I will guide you step by step. I will protect your heart and guard your path. Rest now, my child. Breathe again. Smile again. Hope again. Everything is changing. Everything is new. And I am here with you, as I always have been. I never left. I never stopped loving you. And I never will. My child, for my heart is wide open to you, and my voice will not stop until you are full of the peace I have come to give. You are safe with me. You are seen. And now, you are stepping into a time where you will no longer survive, you will thrive. There were moments when you thought, this is it. I can't keep going. What you did, not because you had the strength, but because I carried you. You didn't realize it then, but every time you felt too weak to stand and still kept going, that was me holding you up. Every time you thought you were breaking, I was the one keeping the pieces of your heart from falling apart. Every breath you took in pain, I was there, breathing with you. And now, because you endured, I am bringing you into something brand new. The season you are leaving behind was not wasted. Though it hurt, though it was dark, it planted seeds that are about to grow into blessing. You couldn't see the purpose before, but now you will. Now you will understand why I said no to that prayer, why I closed that door, why I removed that person from your life. It was never rejection, it was protection. I'm protecting your destiny. I'm protecting your heart. I'm protecting the future I have written for you. You are not walking into just another chapter, you are walking into the reason I created you. The pain shaped you, but my plan will establish you. And nothing, no mistake, no delay, no attack from the enemy can stop what I've started in your life. You don't have to strive anymore. Just trust me. Let go of trying to figure everything out. You don't have to have all the answers I do. You don't have to make everyone understand your heart, I understand it fully. You don't need the approval of people who never saw your worth. My approval is all you need. And I have already called you chosen, loved, worthy, and set apart. I am going to surprise you. Yes, I, Jesus, am going to surprise you with joy. You've become so used to disappointment that you expect it. But that's ending today. From now on, expect goodness. Expect my favor. Expect healing and miracles and open doors. Expect to be treated with honor, because I have placed my favor on you. I am going to give you back everything the enemy stole, and more. Double for your trouble. Peace for your pain. Joy for your sorrow. Celebration for your mourning. Don't look at your situation and say, I don't see it yet. Look at me. I am the evidence. I am your source. If you have me, you already have victory. And you do have me. I live within you. My spirit is in you, surrounding you, going before you, and standing behind you. You are not alone. You are never alone. Let this be the day you stop looking backward. Stop rehearsing the past. You've cried long enough. You've carried guilt long enough. You've tried to make sense of things that broke your heart, but now I'm saying leave it behind. What's ahead is better. What's ahead is full of me. And what's ahead is already prepared. Now I am placing boldness in you. A new courage. You will speak differently. You will walk with confidence, not fear. You will no longer apologize for the light I've placed inside you. You will no longer dim yourself to make others comfortable. You are rising now, not because of pride, but because of purpose. I've called you higher, and I will lift you up as you continue to trust me. There is a power resting on you now that was not there before. A peace that will confuse those who once saw you broken. A joy that will overflow in places where sorrow once lived. They will look at you and say, what happened to you? And your answer will be simple. Jesus stepped in. He said it was over, and everything changed you. I'm not done writing your story. I'm not finished blessing you. You haven't even seen your greatest days yet. This is still the beginning, and I am walking with you every step. So keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart soft. Stay in my word. Talk to me daily. Let me be your everything. Now breathe in. Let peace fill you. Let hope rise in you. Let faith wake up again. My beloved, this is your moment. This is your shift. This is your miracle. It's over, and something beautiful is beginning. Write amen if you're living by grace, not by strength. My beloved, I will continue to speak, because your heart is open, and I will not stop pouring until every dry place within you is flooded with my love. You have waited so long for someone to really understand, to really stay, to really see you. I am that someone. I am not going anywhere. I have seen the broken places, the tired places, the confused places, and I still choose to stay. I am not overwhelmed by your mess. I am not afraid of your questions. I am not disappointed in your weaknesses. I am your Savior, and I came for this very reason, to walk with you, even when you feel unworthy. You've told yourself that you had to earn my love, that you had to be better, stronger, more faithful, more perfect. But that is not what I ask of you. I ask for your heart, not your performance. My love for you does not rise and fall with your success or failure. I love you when you were at your lowest. I cherish you when you felt like nothing. And I will keep loving you through every stage of your journey. Right now, I am putting my arms around your soul. I'm quieting the storms inside your mind. The racing thoughts, the deep regrets, the fears about tomorrow, I'm silencing them now. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to have all the answers. I am your answer. Let me take the lead. Let me walk you out of fear and into peace. And yes, you've been afraid. Afraid to trust again. Afraid to hope again. Afraid that if you try one more time, you'll just be disappointed again. I understand. I know what it's like to be rejected, betrayed, abandoned. I know what it's like to cry alone in the night. That's why I'm the only one truly qualified to heal your wounds. I don't just see your pain, I feel it with you. And now I am healing it. Let go, my child. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the shame. Let go of the fear that tells you you will never get it right. Let go of the guilt that clings to your soul. I died to set you free, not to make you perfect in your own strength, but to make you whole through my grace. I paid the price already. You don't have to pay it again with your tears or your self-punishment. I want you to rest, not just physically, but deep in your soul. Rest from the striving. Rest from the comparing. Rest from the wondering if you're enough. You are enough because I live in you. You are enough because I made you, and I don't make mistakes. You are enough because I call you mine. Now, I am lifting your head. I am placing a crown of beauty where ashes once were. I am writing a new chapter with my own hand. The story that looked like it would end in defeat will now declare my glory. Your testimony is forming. Your miracle is unfolding. The best part of your life is not behind you, it's ahead, and it's starting now. Walk with me, just one step at a time. You don't need to see the whole path, just take the next step, and then the next. I will light the way. I will open the right doors. I will close the wrong ones. I will protect you from traps, from people who do not have your heart, and from the plans of the enemy. You will walk in peace, not panic. You will walk in joy, not fear. You will walk in purpose, not confusion. And when you stumble, I will catch you. When you cry, I will hold you. When you feel lost, I will come find you. I am not a distant God. I am your closest friend, your faithful Father, your everlasting King. You will never walk alone again. Not one day, not one moment. I see the strength rising in you now. It's not your own strength, it's mine, flowing through you. And this strength will carry you through the days ahead. The same power that raised me from the dead is living in you. That's why the darkness cannot hold you anymore. That's why the depression is lifting. That's why the anxiety is losing its grip. That's why the fear is melting away. You are becoming who I always saw in you. Not broken but whole. Not rejected but chosen. Not forgotten but favored. You are standing up from the ashes. You are rising in my name. And all of heaven is rejoicing because my child is stepping into their promise. My child, I will keep speaking because my love for you has no end. As long as you are willing to listen, I will pour into you endlessly. This is what I long for, not your perfection, not your performance, but your presence, your heart turned toward mine. And right now, your heart is open, soft, and ready to receive. So listen closely, because these next words are deeply personal. You've been walking through a season where you felt forgotten, where others moved ahead, and you felt stuck, where prayers went unanswered, and dreams seemed out of reach. You watched others celebrate while you wept in silence. But I was not silent. I was speaking in the stillness, shaping in the shadows, building in the waiting. And now, I say to you, your time has come. I am redeeming the lost time. I am restoring what you thought was gone forever. I am returning joy to your mornings and peace to your nights. The waiting was not wasted. It prepared you and matured you. It made room in your heart for the weight of the blessing I'm about to place in your life. What's coming will not crush you. You're strong enough now. Because you were willing to grow in the hidden place, you're ready to shine in the open. I know there were moments you wanted to give up. You felt like your prayers hit a wall. You wondered if I even heard you. Let me tell you the truth. Not one word fell to the ground. Every prayer, even the ones whispered with trembling lips, reached me. Every time you said I trust you through tears, heaven took notice. And now, the answers are beginning to come softly at first, like a gentle rain. But soon they'll pour, a flood of my goodness you never saw coming. The enemy tried to silence you with fear. He tried to steal your voice, your joy, your identity. But you held on. You kept going. And because of that, you are about to walk in the kind of freedom that shakes hell. Chains are breaking, even now. Strongholds are falling, even now. What held you down is losing its grip. What blocked your way is being removed. I'm not only healing you, I'm raising you. The same places where you were once crushed will become places of testimony. Where you were once ashamed, I will give you double honor. Where you were rejected, I will establish you with favor. And the very people who saw you fall will witness your rising. Type amen if you feel surrounded by His presence today. You don't have to defend yourself anymore. Let me be your defender. Let me be your voice when others misjudge you. Let me be your justice where you were wronged. You no longer have to fight alone. I'm fighting for you, and I always win. From this day forward, I want you to walk differently. not in fear, not in shame, but in boldness. You carry my name. You carry my light. You are not a victim, you are victorious. You are not forgotten, you are favored. You are not broken, you are blessed. Walk like someone who knows their Father is the King of all creation. There will be days when the old pain tries to return, when the past whispers its lies, when memories rise like shadows. But I want you to remember what I am saying now. It's over. You are breakable. What was sent to destroy you only deepened your roots. And now, like a tree planted by living waters, you will not be moved. Storms may come, winds may blow, but you will remain standing because I, the Lord your God, have planted you. Every tear that fell in secret has watered the ground for a great harvest. The weeping may have lasted for a night, but joy true, overwhelming, unstoppable joy is coming with the morning. And that morning is not far off. It is rising even now in your heart. Can you feel it? That lightness in your chest, that hope beginning to stir again. That's me. That's my spirit awakening what had gone silent in you. My child, let go of the need to explain your journey to everyone. Not everyone will understand where I'm taking you, and that's okay. You don't need their permission to obey me. You don't need their approval to walk in purpose. The anointing I placed on your life didn't come from people, it came from me. And no one can take away what I've given. Before end this video, let's pray together. Lord Jesus, today I pause, not with loud words, but with a quiet heart. I look to you, the shepherd of my soul, the one who walks beside me in every season. Thank you for being my constant, even when the world around me changes. In the stillness of this moment, I feel your nearness, soft as a whisper, steady as the dawn. You see my heart, Lord. You know the burdens I carry, the fears I don't speak, and the dreams I hold close. Yet, you never grow tired of loving me. You lift my gaze when I look down. You calm the storms that rage within. In your light, I find peace that makes no sense to the world. In your presence, I remember who I am, beloved, chosen, and held. When I feel small, remind me that I am never unseen. When I feel weak, remind me that your strength is made perfect in my weakness. I don't need to have it all together, Lord, I just need to stay close to you. Help me trust you more each day, to walk where you lead, to rest when you ask, and to love even when it's hard. Let my heart be soft toward you, Jesus. Let my words be kind, my thoughts be gentle, and my steps be led by grace. Thank you for being so patient with me. Thank you for carrying me when I didn't know I needed it. Teach me to live each day with simple faith, humble joy, and a thankful heart. In your holy and loving name I pray, Amen. If this message touched your heart, type Amen in the comments and share this video with someone who needs